I thought I had it all figured out until my life pulled the rug out from under me. It started like any other day. I grabbed a few groceries, stood in line, scrolled my phone, nothing special. Then the cashier read the total. I slid my card, already thinking about dinner. Declined. I laughed it off and tried again. Declined. Pulled out another card. Declined. Another. Declined. My face burned. The people were staring. The cashier whispered, "Do you have another form of payment?" I mumbled something, left the cart, and walked out empty-handed. Ever feel like reality is screaming at you and you can't look away? That was me. That night, I sat on my floor, surrounded by a mountain of bills I'd been organizing in piles. Later. I finally did the math. $207,421. $200,000 in debt, crushing me like a freight train. I couldn't sleep, couldn't think, couldn't eat, just stared at that number, asking, how did I get here? Nobody taught me how to survive this. Nobody prepared me for this. But that humiliation became my spark. Right then I decided I am done letting $200,000 control my life. Step 1. I had to face the truth. For years, I blamed everything. The economy, my salary, student loans, society. Some of it was real, sure, but blaming others kept me powerless. As long as it was their fault, I didn't have to change. Here's what nobody warns you about debt. The real battle is in your mind. So I did something extreme, a debt brain dump. I wrote down every single loan and balance, but I didn't stop at numbers. Next to each debt, I wrote how it made me feel. Student loan, shame. Credit card, embarrassment. Personal loan, panic. Medical bill, anger. And that's when it hit me. My debt wasn't just a number, it was a story. A story I had been too scared to read. And reading it hurt, but avoiding it was killing me. I made a promise to myself. No more running, no more pretending, no more later. I needed a plan, absolutely real. One I could stick to even on the days I wanted to quit. So I started with the simplest rule I could think of. Spend less than I earn. Revolutionary, right? But the truth is, I had never actually done it. I tracked every dollar, every swipe, every bill, and it was ugly. I was overspending without even noticing. Tiny leaks everywhere. Coffee here, takeout there, subscriptions I forgot existed, all stealing my future, so I coochied deep. Packed lunches, canceled everything unnecessary, sold stuff I didn't use, picked up extra shifts, started freelancing on weekends. Every extra dollar became a weapon. And for the first time, the debt started to move slowly, painfully, but it moved. And that tiny progress changed everything. It made me dangerous because once you see progress, you get addicted. I became obsessed with momentum. I tracked my balances every week. Watching the numbers drop became my new favorite hobby. I cut deeper, worked harder, saved smarter. I stopped trying to impress people, stopped buying things to feel better, started choosing my future over my impulses. And slowly, the weight on my chest got lighter. The panic quieted. The shame faded. And for the first time in years, I felt hope. But hope wasn't enough. I needed structure. I needed discipline. I built a system that didn't rely on motivation. Motivation dies fast, systems stay alive. I chose the debt snowball. I needed quick wins. I needed momentum. Smallest bounce first. Attack with everything. Minimums on the rest. The first payoff felt unreal. It felt like oxygen. It felt like progress. That tiny win changed me. It made me believe again. It made me dangerous. I picked up extra shifts. I worked nights. I worked weekends. Every dollar mattered. Every dollar had a job. No excuses allowed. No slip-ups allowed. I became focused. I became intentional. I became hungry. Then I learned something new. You can negotiate interest rates. I didn't know that. Nobody teaches that. But I tried anyway. I called my credit card companies. I was nervous. I was shaking. But I asked, 2 companies said yes. My rates dropped. My payments dropped. My timeline shortened. Momentum grew. But life hit back. Life always hits back. My cheap car broke down. The transmission died. The repair was expensive. My emergency fund disappeared. I felt defeated again. I felt crushed again. I felt tired again. A part of me wanted to quit. A part of me wanted to swipe a credit card, but I didn't. I stayed strong. I stayed stubborn. I treated the setback as temporary. I rebuilt slowly, dollar by dollar, week by week. I cut expenses again. I sold more things. I took more gigs. I started fresh. I kept moving. I unfollowed toxic influencers. I removed pressure. I removed comparison. I protected my mindset. I protected my peace. Sacrifice became normal. Frugality became normal. The grind became normal. Setbacks still came. Unexpected bills appeared. Stress appeared. Burnout appeared. But I refused to quit. I built tiny rewards, nothing expensive. Just small wins. I made a debt thermometer. I cut it every $500. It felt motivating. It felt visual. It felt real. I kept stacking habits. I paid bills every payday. No delays. No debauches. New hesitation. Action became routine. Routine became power. Power became progress. And progress became hope. By the final stretch, everything felt different. The dead wasn't winning anymore. The balances were shrinking fast. The end finally felt real. The finish line was close. I could almost taste freedom. I checked my accounts constantly. Every drop mattered. Every payment mattered. Every sacrifice mattered. 3 years had passed. 3 long years. 3 disciplined years. Then the moment arrived. I logged into my loan portal. It felt routine. It felt normal, but something was different. The number was small, small enough to kill entirely. My heart kicked hard. My hands shook. I typed the payoff amount. I double-checked it. I triple-checked it. I stared at the screen. I hovered over submit. 1 breath, 1 click. The page refreshed. Balance, $0. I froze. I blinked. I refreshed again. Still, $0. I logged out. I logged back in. Still $0. The reality hit me. I was done. I was free. The weight lifted instantly. I cried. I laughed. I shook. Years of pressure melted. Years of shame disappeared. Years of fear ended. No fireworks appeared. No applause happened. No celebration erupted. Just silence. Peaceful silence, a calm I hadn't felt in years that was gone. Stress was gone. The panic was gone. Life finally felt mine again. I breathed fully. I stood taller. I felt new. I felt capable. I felt powerful. Life after debt felt unreal. It felt quiet. It felt safe. No more fear at checkout lines. No more dread opening emails. No more anxiety answering unknown numbers. I built a real emergency fund. I saved with intention. I invested slowly. I invested consistently. My money finally worked for me. I saved 40% of my income. I budgeted confidently. I controlled every dollar. I traveled with cash. I avoided credit. I avoided temptation. I helped family without sinking myself. I said yes to opportunities. I said no to pressure. My future felt open. My mind felt clear. My stress disappeared. My confidence returned. I rebuilt my life. I rebuilt my habits. I rebuilt my identity. Money became a tool. Not a monster. Not a burden. Not a master. Freedom tasted permanent. Freedom tasted powerful. Freedom tasted with every sacrifice. And I promised myself one thing. Never again. Freedom felt like breathing after years underwater. It felt like opening a door I thought was permanently locked. It felt like stepping into sunlight after living in a basement. But freedom also came with responsibility. I knew I had to protect it. I knew I had to guard it fiercely. So I kept my new mindset alive. I kept my habits sharp. I kept my priorities straight. I refused to drift back into old patterns. I refused to let comfort make me careless. I refused to forget how heavy debt had felt. I set new financial goals. I set smarter spending rules. I set boundaries with myself. I focused on building wealth slowly. I focused on stability over status. I focused on peace over approval. People noticed the change. Some asked how I did it. Some didn't believe it. Some assumed I got lucky, but I knew the truth. It wasn't luck. It was discipline. It was honesty. It was sacrifice. It was choosing the hard path every day. It was saying no when my emotions screamed yes. It was believing my future mattered more than my impulses. And that belief carried me forward. It carried me into a better chapter. One with clarity. One with possibility. One with control. I kept stacking small wins. I kept choosing growth. I kept choosing responsibility. My life became intentional. My choices became aligned. My money finally matched my values. I learned to live below my means. I learned to plan for surprises. I learned to respect my limits. And that respect changed everything. It made me stronger. It made me calmer. It made me wiser. I realized debt hadn't been the enemy. My habits had been. My denial had been. My avoidance had been. Once I faced those shadows, everything shifted. Everything improved. Everything opened up. I stepped into a version of myself I didn't recognize at first. A disciplined version. A confident version. A patient version. A version that understood money deeply. A version that didn't run from problems. A version that solved them. And that version stayed. It stayed through setbacks. It stayed through challenges. It stayed through doubts. Debt taught me resilience. It taught me humility. It taught me patience. It taught me power. Now I protect that power fiercely. I protect my peace. I protect my progress. I protect my future. Because I earned it. Because I fought for it. Because I refused to quit. And if there's one thing I know now, it's this. Anyone can rise. Anyone can rebuild. Anyone can break free, but only if they decide to start today. Never again would I lose control.